I hope you all are doing well. In my last video, I told you about a way by which you can immigrate to Canada very easily. You don't need to spend a lot of money. The name of that scheme was ExpressEntry. In ExpressEntry scheme, you can apply for permanent residency when you are in your country. You don't need to go to Canada to apply, and once you will get your permanent residency, then you can think about to go to Canada. What are advantages? I told you that you are eligible to apply for any type of jobs in Canada, and as per policy of Canadian government, if you are a permanent resident, you are always be given priorities by companies. So you can apply for jobs when you are in India, and once you will get job, you can go and land to Canada. Second advantage is that you don't need to spend a lot of money, 10 lakhs, 20 lakhs like that to go to Canada for study, because once you are permanent resident, you can go to Canada and study at very nominal cost, which are the fee for Canadian citizens. Apart from this, one biggest advantage is that all these process can be done when you are in your country. So you don't need to exactly go and land to Canada for doing such processes. If you want to get more information on that, I will suggest you to please see my last video. Link of that video is in description box. And if you want to get such informative videos in future, don't forget to subscribe to this channel and don't forget to press notification bell so that you can get notifications very easily. As promised in my last video, I have come up with the way how can you check your CRS point. Let's go together and check your CRS point. And yes, you have to put your basic information, do some simulations, and if you don't have anything in your hand like IELTS score or something, don't worry. In my video, I have given you some tips. What will be your IELTS score if you are an average English speaker or if you are very good English speakers. And I have also given some tips how can you increase your CRS points. Let's go and check your CRS score together.
Open this Google account. You say in Google, you type CRS point calculator. CRS is comprehensive ranking system, which is a ranking scheme used by Government of Canada. This is cic.gc.ca is official website. I will always suggest that you always follow official website because it will give you correct information. You have to click on this, and now you can come down. At last, you have to start with your marital status because this status is very important to calculate points. If you are single, then you are going to get more points than if you are married. But in case you are single, you are not eligible for spouse points. So overall, it's approximate same. So let's get started. In marital status, suppose I will say that person is married. Then it will ask if your spouse or common law partner is a citizen or permanent resident of Canada. If you will say yes, then it will not go forward because this ExpressEntry is not for such people. So it will be no. And at last you have to say if your partner is going to come with you. So obviously you will always go with your partner. So it's yes. So this is most important. How old are you? This is the point where you cannot change anything. You have to say what you are. And if you are less than or near to 28, then you are going to get very high point, and after that there are less points. So if you are less than 30 and you are having master's degree and you are having 1 or 2 years of experience, then I will suggest that, because the permanent residency application process took approximate 1 year, and in that time you are going to get more age. So let's check. Suppose I will say 28 years, and then your level of education. You will get highest points for doctorate degree or masters, and then 2 certificates, 2 or more certificates. It means that suppose you have done first diploma and then you have done degree. This is and you have 2 2 certificates and one should be at least 3 years or more. So in that case you will get more points. So I'm going to select masters. If you have qualification from Canada, you can earn more points. So in that case I will say no, because I am assuming that you are in India and you are planning to go to Canada. So I will say no, I don't have any Canadian degree or diploma. Then official language. You have option, you have to give this exam. You have option to take 2 exams, that is known as CELPIP and IELTS. At this time I will say yes and I will select IELTS. TEF Canada and TCF Canada is for French language exam, and for English language it's IELTS and CELP. So I will select IELTS and you have to now enter your scores. You know your level, and if you are an average one in English, so I'm sure in IELTS general you are going to get at least 7 in speaking, at least 7 in listening, at least 7 in reading, and at least 7 in writing. I am assuming that you don't know French, so I will select you don't have any other language test. And then be careful. In the last 10 years, how many years of skill experience in Canada do you have? So it is asking Canadian experience, and if you have Canadian experience of at least 1 year, then only you can choose this option. Otherwise, if you have less than 1 year of experience, you are not eligible for this. So I will say none or less than 1 year. And I want to tell you that this point is very important, because it's going to give you a very high point if you have Canadian experience of 1 or more year. This is your experience in your country. So in the last 10 years, how many years of experience you have? For instance, I will say 3 years. And this is the maximum one. Even if you have 10 years of experience, you cannot claim points for that. You have to stay with 3 years or more only. And 7th, do you have certification of qualification from Canadian province, territory, or federal body? It is not applicable for engineers or doctors, etc. It is applicable especially for some technical type of professions, which is equivalent to ITI in our country, and for that professions must be first evaluated by Canadian territory, and it's a lengthy process. But if you have this certification, you are going to get very good points. But at this time I will say that no, I don't have. Then these are last some questions. Do you have valid job offer? Obviously, most of the time people don't have a valid job offer. And nomination certificate, no, because if you have nomination certificate, it is going to give you very high points. At this time I am assuming that you don't have nomination certificate. Now you will come to spouse or common law partner have at least one brother or sister, because if you have your family members in Canada, you will get additional points for them. Here I am going to select no, but if you have, select yes. And now you will claim for points for your spouse. So what is highest education in your spouse? For instance, it's a bachelor degree. And the same in Canada, if your spouse have work experience, you will say yes or no based on your situation. I suggest that your spouse should always give English test, because it is going to boost your score. And now you will have to enter the score. I will assume that your spouse are less than average or average. It's up to you. If it's average, you can select 7, and if it's and if you have actual scores, then you can write actual scores. It will give you more ideas. At last you will click on calculate your scores, and now you will check your results. See, your score is 405. Generally, if you will see cutoff marks for CRS, it's more than 440 and 450 or 450. So but if you are having points more than 400, it's very good for you, because there are more chances that you will get PNP nominations. But there is one magic I will show you. You don't change anything, you only change one factor, your IELTS score, this one. Speaking 7, keep listening 8, reading 7, writing 7, no problem, but you put 8 in listening, and then you again click on calculate your score. And this is magic. Oh my god, now I have 468. It means that on the next day or on the next row you are going to get invitation to apply for permanent residency. So by this what I mean to show you that if you have as a score of 7, 8 should be in listening. In that case you are going to get very high score. And this is equivalent to suppose you are in you have already work experience in Canada. So now I will say that in Canada I have 1 year of work experience and I have set my IELTS score again on the average, and now I will again go and calculate my score, and this is my score. See, 490. It means that experience in Canada is very valuable, and if you have any of your spouse have, suppose you or your wife, you or your husband, any one of you have Canadian experience, you should make them prime applicant. So who are prime applicant? Prime applicant are the person whose information is going to be entered here, and his or her spouse information will go in next. So you simulate your situation, and then if you are getting more than 400, then there is 90% chance that you will get invitation to apply.
I hope you have checked your CRS score and now you know that what is your CRS score. If your CRS score is more than 400, don't be late. Apply for permanent residency as soon as possible. Start to do all the processes. But if your CRS score is low, no need to worry because there are many factors. Do some simulations, try to adjust some points and try to find out how can you boost your CRS score. Believe me, it is very good opportunities and very good option if you want to save your money, because the amount which you will save for your study, that amount you can use for initial days when you will search for a job in Canada. This was all about today. I hope you like this information. Wait for my next video. In my next video, I am going to tell you how can you do ECA for your education qualification. If you have any question, don't hesitate to ask. You can write your question in comment box. I am definitely going to reply you. So wait for my next video. See you. Love you. Bye.